Donnie B. GotDaBeats.
Hey, what's good, everybody? It's Donnie B. Got the Beats. We live on the latest edition of The Beat. This is season 7, episode number 2. And I got a lot of hot talent lined up this season, man. Season 7 is going to be lit. And we in the year to GOAT, ladies and gentlemen, to the 2023 on our back, boy. And I got legends on me this year, man. I guarantee you. So with that being, without further ado, for those that know, it's time for the glorious intro, y'all. Stay tuned. So as with the last couple of guests I didn't had on, I met some talented people. Grammy Weekend 2023, man. And I think this year was a life changer for me, man, because it was the first time I actually got to experience the Grammys in its entirety and be around in the room, as they say, in the industry. So I got to meet a lot of people from all walks of life, a lot of different places. I got to meet people from the NYC. I got to meet people from Carolina. I got to meet people from Texas, and also from the Bay. And this brother right here, I met him at the Sunset Rooftop. He had his performance out there. He tore the shit up, and that is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. You're gonna see why I got international recording artist 8-Bit J. What's going on, 8-Bit J?
Oh yeah, man. I'm just here. I'm ready. So it's good to link up again. We just we got it. If it all fucks up from here on, at least we got it done.
Exactly. No worries, man. Hey, man, this is stuff that this stuff is forever, man. So years from now, you can look back on this interview and say, "Hey, man, you had it here first, 8-Bit J, man, live and direct, and this is his story." So that's what this is all about. You up in the Bay right now, right?
Yeah, man, I'm right here in the East Bay area.
Okay, what's the weather out like there?
It's been rainy as fuck out here.
Man, that straight river, bitch, ain't it?
Yeah, man, it's been like storming out here. I mean, in comparison to like when you talk to a person on the East Coast, like they some get offended anytime you say it's cold. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's been a little hectic for California standards, I guess.
That's for damn sure. And I'm from the East Coast, and I'm here to tell you, it's a bit ridiculous out here, boy. Like it's ridiculous, boy. I'm trying to tell you, I can't even hold my displeasure with California right now. But it is what it is, man. We here to celebrate you, and it's gonna be a sunny day because we got 8-Bit J with us, man. You see how that rhymed? See how I did that?
Yeah, see, oh, you got it.
So, Jay, let's tap into this thing, man, so people get to know who you are. I don't want to waste your time because I know your time is important. First question on deck. I want you to tell everybody at home and out there in the universe, who is 8-Bit J? What's he about?
Man, I'm just a rapping ass nerd who's passionate about these bars, man. That's all I am, bro. I'm just a dude who fucks with what he fucks with. I'm genuine. Whatever you hear on my bars is basically whatever I'm about, man. I love the culture. I love what I'm about. That's yeah, that's basically that's the best way to explain who I am, man. I'm like a 90s kid personified, put this fucking mask on and just ingrained with the culture, man.
I ain't even mad at you, man. Some of my best guests, man, on this show in its entirety have come from the Bay, man. Sorry to know what time it is with the culture and it's the whole swag that it is the Bay, man. And shout out to the Bay. I got my brother Nick Baker living up there, and I got nothing but love for up north. I just can't physically live up there because I can't deal with the topology, man. Them hills and the fog. I just can't, bro. Like, no.
Walking
But
drunk in San Francisco is like, yeah, you fuck up, you're gonna be falling down for like 36 minutes. So
yeah, well, I can only imagine. I can only imagine. So let's get to this next question, bro. Growing up we talk about the Bay. You mentioned the Bay. I done threw shouts out to the Bay. So for you, what was it like for you growing up in the Bay? And did you experience any issues or any obstacles that you had to leap over in order to become the success that you are today?
I think the Bay has a very particular sound on what they be fucking with. So it was a little bit hard to kind of get people to kind of notice and fuck with what I was bringing to the table. Being, I mean, I don't want to say like a lyricist, but sure, let's just say, for lack of a better term, just like a lyricist. I'm not saying there ain't lyricists in the Bay, but a lot of what's been popping around here has been, mob shit. It's there's a before it was hyphy, when I was, really young. There's a hyphy shit going growing up, which I love that shit. I love listening to that shit too. But just what I was doing. But so as far as obstacles, I wouldn't say anything too drastic, but it's a different flavor.
Right.
And when you got your own thing that you're trying to do, it's kind of hard. When you kind of break against the mold a little bit. So that was always a bit of a challenge. But one thing I do like about the Bay is it's a melting pot. So you know, eventually you're gonna find your group of people that be doing what you want to do. Like who you met him at the show, Jay Harmony. I
Yep.
met him when we were both auditioning and doing shit for, it was a group out here called Team Backpack about 10 years ago. They were really popping off, and it was all about ciphers. And if you know it's about ciphers, you know it's about bars.
Right.
So that's what we kind of gravitated, and I met a lot of great people through that realm, and met so many good people through him. It was like extending the olive branch to a million different places. So if there's one thing that I've loved about the Bay, it's just how many different flavors are being brought into this motherfucker. But it's and just again, it's the culture of the Bay that's like extremely unique. There's one thing about it, it's that you're gonna realize that there's just there's like a million different things and perspectives that you see from out here, and people come from all over the world to be out here, and it ain't cheap out here either. So shit. So I guess there's got to be something dope, right?
You ain't never lied. Well, that's true to be said about all of California. I mean, shit, some parts of Modesto was like, bro, like who tried it? You know what I mean? But it is what it is, man. But shout out to the Bay, like I said, and shout out to brother Jay Harmony, man. He was another cool cat. I gotta get in touch with, see if I can get him on the show. Thank you for sharing about that. The Bay is definitely a unique individual place. Knowing that I've lived on both coasts, I want to say the closest parallel to that area, the town, specifically Oakland. I think Oakland has a charm to it, but it really reminds me of Philly a lot. I don't want to offend Philly, and I don't want to offend Oakland.
Nah.
It definitely has that feel to it, that vibe, that it's like real culture rich, and everybody is mad authentic. You know what I mean? So it's nothing but love and respect I got for that area, man.
It's
Real.
like, I don't want to seem like, for lack of a better term, sacrilegious, but I feel like Oakland is really the pinnacle of the Bay when it comes to culture. And I was born in San Francisco, so that's why I mean like sacrilegious. But but yeah, I got love for all over the Bay. So I was born in San Francisco. I was raised in Richmond. It was, but I know that Oakland they really got it like that, and you can see from who's come out of Oakland. Your Too Shorts and whatnot.
Yeah.
Just how culturally rich they are. And yeah, I think so you say like Philly, and yeah, same thing. You can see by who comes out of there. It really the proof is in the pudding. You know when someone's a town cat, and you know when someone's when someone's from the city. Damn near, it's like you got to be out here. If you know, you know.
Right. That's 1,000% correct, man. That's 1,000% correct. Pivoting back to you directly, I want to ask you when did you discover your talents in music? Like, did you grow up with it? Did you follow behind a family member or a close friend or so forth or so on? Like, what got you started?
So basically, I started rapping when I was like in fourth grade. So that was about fucking 2006, and you know, I was just rapping about whatever I heard about on my on wax. You
Mm.
know, I grew up listening to a lot of.
Oh, shoot, for a second there, buddy. You back? Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
You grew up listening to a lot of, and then that's where we got
I,
leave off.
I grew up listening to a lot of Dr. Dre. I grew
Okay.
up listening to a lot of West Coast, just so much West Coast shit at the time. Like when I was really growing up. Like one of the first album I listened through all the way through was The Crying 2001.
Mm.
So when you listen to something like that, there's like a million artists you could just branch off into. So yeah, I kind of wanted to really start rapping around like fourth grade, and from there, it kind of stopped. And I remember it's funny when around like middle school, I was doing like these Weird Al kind of ass tracks where I would take like instrumentals off YouTube from popular rap songs, and I made like funny versions of them.
Mm.
But with doing that, it was kind of like polishing my bars up.
Mm.
So by the time I got into high school and I started to, I would go on this website called SoundClick a lot. And SoundClick had producers, and even producers that are still pumping now, like like Johnny Giuliano. That's when he was first working with Wiz Khalifa and shit. So they would have all these beats up with the tags blasted all over them and shit. And I get the free downloads, and I just go crazy with it and try to write to every single beat that I thought was hot. It's funny when you kind of find that archive of beats, you see how like of the era they were. It's that mixtape Dat Piff era, and
Right.
super bling era ass beats. But yeah, so around high school, that's when I really discovered that I really wanted to start rapping like that. I had like $200 saved up, and I remember buying a microphone and a pop filter on Amazon, and I still got that mic and pop filter to this day. So from 2014, so it's been lasting me almost 10 years, and I always said it was like the best investment I ever made,
Yeah.
because here we are.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm gonna share this with you too, man. I mean, because I remember me getting my first uh, recording rig ever. It was gifted to me, and I don't know. This will tell my age for sure, but it was called a Digi-01. It was a Pro Tools Digi-01. You recall that hardware?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's a old piece of hardware now. Looking back at it, man, but yeah, I just lived and breathed that damn thing, and so I can just imagine what it was like. And I didn't even I had like a Shure 58 mic, just a regular.
Uh-huh.
Not going, what I'm saying? Like I got a hold of one from like a theater or something, and just put some pantyhose on a on a hanger.
Yeah, put a sock on that big
Yeah,
sock on that motherfucker.
I mean, at my first mixtape came out that thing, and that, man, man, memories.
Let
So
let me tell you, I used to have like the little mics you use for like for when you playing on PlayStation or whatever, the little headset you use.
yeah,
That's the first thing I used to record shit, and I showed that to a couple of my boys, and then they were like, "Okay, that's what's up." And so then that's when I finally caught the mic. And it's funny how you say, I'm gonna show my age. I just turned 28 like 10 days ago.
Congratulations, happy birthday.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird when I say like the mixtape era. Dat Piff just closed down.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just shut down. I'm not sure if you heard about that, but Dat Piff just shut down. I remember around that time, that was the shit. Like that's where everybody wanted to put their shit up. Everybody was getting them Wiz tapes, the Mac Miller tapes. That was Currency. That was what was popping. So it's so weird, talking about sound. So it's like weird every time I talk about like SoundClick or shit like that, or the mixtape era, and when someone resonates, it really kind of shows you, who was growing up around that time, because you have kids kind of growing up now where their first experience was SoundCloud.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, that's when SoundCloud just kind of started up, and I was, that's when I was really peeping that. So it's kind of cool how it's crazy how fast shit moves, from one place to the next to the next to the next.
Absolutely. And I mean, I take it as far back as Napster. I used to yeah, that's when I was in high school, and that was the thing, like Napster and all of that P2P. That
Cassidy dissing Freeway on Napster.
It was not a game back then, man. I remember I was still learning how to splice reel-to-reels when I was in college. You know what I'm saying? So two track reel-to-reels. That was part of my assignment. So I'll go back to analog, bro. Like, so I seen the whole Cakewalk. I remember when Cakewalk first came out, and that was like lib. That was pre Pro Tools. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, man. Shit. I remember when I tried to get into Pro Tools and try to mix and master and shit, and I was just like looking at this shit like trying to work a spaceship. I was like, yeah, nah. So I always respect, always respect producers and shit, man, because the way y'all could really just, the way these people could like, listen to one drum or one little thing, or listen to a mix and just tweak that. Insane. As an artist, I get impatient of just about shit when I'm recording and I fuck up something and have to redo it. But
yeah,
you look at these dudes, they're like perfectionists when it comes to this kind of shit. Just ridiculous.
You gotta be. If you know what I'm saying, like if you love your product and you bought your product, man, you can't put bad product out in the market, man. That's your name. That's your life blood, man. Like, can't do that, So,
man,
I want to ask you next question, brother. What was it that when did you realize that you were an actual person in the recording industry? Was there in the music industry? Was there a time that you get like officially can say, you know what? Wow, I'm in the music industry.
I don't know if there was an exact moment, but I think I started to really notice like that people started to gravitate towards my shit when my first album dropped. That's when I started seeing a couple websites post a few things, and I think it was just the general kind of like respect amongst my peers that where I really started to see that so the shit was actually moving forward. So I couldn't give you an exact date when I was like, okay, yeah, this is the day when shit got real. But I mean, I think it was just like a gradual incline of just putting quality together to the point where people started to take you serious. And when people started to take you serious, then you start seeing people come to your show. I would say maybe in like 2018 I got paid $200 for a show, which it ain't shit, but still we brought the most people to the venue. We brought the most, so we rocked that shit harder than anyone else that night. So I think from there I kind of was like, all right, maybe we got a little something, rolling here. Yeah, 2018, 2019, around there. That's when I think I really started to feel that this is something that's, because I feel like from like 2011 when I first started recording all the way till then, it was a lot of, and it's the worst thing as an artist when it feels like you're just talking to a wall, but you got to do it. You got to do it because if you ain't going to say it, then, you know, nobody going to listen regardless.
Right.
So eventually you just kind of throw shit at a wall until that wall starts to break down a little bit. And then somebody clutch onto it, and then, you know, it becomes like a wildfire after that. So yeah, I think that would be that's how it felt like for a very long time. So once I felt that I started to get some genuine fans, I feel like that's when I started to, you know, feel like an actual recording artist, you know, in the industry, rather than just, you know, some dude that, you know, just raps around the area.
That makes sense. It makes sense. And you know, in order for you to know you or you belong, you got to arrive at a destination that makes sense, right? You know, so I feel you with that. I feel you with that. I want to pivot now. I want to take the opportunity to have you talk about it, since you are in the music industry and you have credible work and you have been paid for performances and so forth and so on, and you put your time into it. You've been doing this for a long time. You tell everybody your opinion and your thoughts on how hard it is to be a successful recording artist.
Shit. I mean, how hard it is to be a successful recording artist is just, I mean, I feel like there's obviously the dedication you got to put into it, which is a given. I think if you're gonna do anything, you gotta be somewhat passionate about it, or at least know how this shit works. And a lot of it's dumb luck, man, because I know so many talented folks right now who get zero recognition for whatever they do. Like some of the most talented motherfuckers I know that, you know, don't get loved the way that they probably should. So we go back to the throwing shit at a wall. You could be putting out some dope shit that you know is better than what you're probably hearing. And to have that get 100 plays or whatever like that shit gets demoralizing. And, you know, there was a lot of times where it was demoralizing coming up, you know, as an artist. So it's, and, you know, even still now with the recognition and everything, it still could be demoralizing when something doesn't do the numbers you want it to, or something doesn't pan out the way you want it to, or something ain't sounding the way that you want it to. So it's a lot. I always tell people this shit is trial and error. So much trial and error. And you gotta have thick skin, because people will say your shit trash. People will, no matter how good it is to everyone else, you gonna think about you, and, you know, depending how sensitive you are. And a lot of artists, you know, they passion whatever you're passionate about. You know, being sensitive is it's very common.
Yeah.
So, you know, you gotta have thick skin. You gotta have a bit of luck. You gotta be very passionate about this shit. So it's, you know, you in a war with God, man. So this shit is, and you're in a war with God and a billion other people that want to be known too. So it ain't easy. But that's obvious. That's just my 2 cents on the situation. On, you know, the situation, on, you know, and the experiences that I have kind of felt trying to get my name to even get a smidge of whatever it is I got right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's understandable. I mean, at the end of the day, the accolades that you get are the accolades that you work to get. So, I mean, even if it's one other person, it's one other person. That's still, you know, that's still somebody that supports you, that follows you. You know what I mean? So, I always try to encourage people to just put you know, as an independent artist, you got to kind of be the person that's sitting on top of the horse, riding the horse. But you gotta, your work is that carrot that you got to dangle the horse to get the horse to keep moving. You know what I mean? And once the horse actually gets a hold of that carrot, then you got to put another carrot on the line and keep it moving, but keep that train moving forward. You know what I mean? I can't stress it enough. It's a very, like you said, it's a very daunting and demoralizing scenario, a situation for a lot of people.
I think a rapper named Merce, he from LA. Um, he talked about like the life being like a table full of like glasses of water. You got to keep everyone else full, but you also got to keep your own glass, your own jar of water full too.
Mm,
Yeah,
deep.
so
That's deep.
it's a lot of giving, a lot of taking, and you know it's you really got to be. I always said that you kind of need to be a narcissist in a way to kind of think that you can make it in an industry like this. You have to almost kind of have like that like delusion in yourself that it's like, hey, fuck this. I'm gonna be the one to break the mold and do this. You know, for a lack of a better term, narcissist. But yeah, you know, you get what I mean. Where it's like you gotta be like, hey, it sounds like a pipe dream to anyone, but you know, somebody gotta make it, I guess.
Yeah.
Somebody gotta be up next.
I take that same stance and flip it on its ear. I take it in the ingestion point. I say, why not me? If I
Mm-hmm.
can see all of these other people doing that, now all these other people got this money, and they riding around in this, and they doing this and the third, and they got young, like if the social network movie said you got fuck you flip flops on. Well, why can't I do that? You know what I mean? I can do that. You know what I mean? And I can do it better probably. So
Uh-huh.
it's just about it. You just like you said, you got to have a alter ego.
I
That
love that. I say that all the time. Why not? Why not us? You know,
yeah, it's
you got to
it's
have that mindset, the why not us mindset, because hey, fuck it, why not,
you just as valuable as everybody else, man. And that's the
man?
whole point of what this beat is for. It's just so people can understand that there are artists out there that's just like you, and like you said, and maybe if not as dope as you, even more dope as you. But they out
Uh,
here none the same, and maybe they're doing something that you're not doing, or maybe they're doing something exactly what you're doing, and then you can learn from them on how to navigate and swim. So that's neither here nor there, man. But I thank you for sharing that. I definitely am digging what you're saying so far. Uh, in this time, what do you feel were or are your biggest obstacles in establishing yourself?
I think it's just finding something that I get very personal with a lot of my music. You know, the stuff I have. I've right now the projects that I've released. I've had mine with J Harmony, which have been more punchline centered, where it's been some on I wouldn't say backpacker, but yeah, we've been on. We talk about ignorant shit. We brag a lot. It's a lot about punchlines. Very kind of cipher oriented. Very clever. Where I feel like in my solo stuff, I've been a lot more personal with it. Still very lyrical, but. So it's very hard to kind of find a balance between being extremely personal and dark with it, but still finding something that's musically, palatable.
Right.
Because you want to find, and I think that's just been the hardest part about anything that I've done. It's just finding that middle ground of you want something that's lyrical, but you also want something that's, that people are going to want to listen to.
Right.
So I feel mostly that. I think the rest of it just about is establishing myself. I guess I think I find it pretty easy as in just wanting to talk about whatever I want to talk about. You know, at a certain point, I kind of just said, "Fuck it, I'm not gonna compromise whatever I feel like doing for anyone else. I'm gonna do it my way."
Mm,
But at the same time, I want to make dope music. I want to make dope music, and I also want to make shit that I want to talk about. So yeah, just it's just trying to find both and trying to do it the best way. It's that's what I try to do with every album. I want to make better music, but I also want to make something that is relatable, and I want it to be extension of me.
right. Well, that's the quickest way to your art. It's just for people to understand that, you know, what you put out in the universe is your art. You know what I mean? And you got to protect it. You got to throw it up there, and this because it's a personification of you. It's an extension of you. It's your representation. So, you gotta do what you got to do in that regard, man. But nonetheless, you're doing good stuff. You're doing great things. Definitely, I want to take this opportunity to pivot because we're halfway in the show right now. I want to showcase your music. We have your song Haneda. We get ready to play that. I want you to tell everybody a little bit about Haneda, how it came to be, what's the thought process for it, and you know, how it came together.
So my most recent album that just dropped around last year around this time. So it dropped March 4th last year. So the anniversary of Tokyo 8. But the idea of Tokyo 8 was me having this idea of getting away from home and heading to some place, you know, just foreign, kind of like running away, doing like your own like little like retreat, just kind of getting the culture shock. And Haneda is just the name of the airport in Tokyo. So the idea was just hopping on the red eye and heading out to Haneda. The song itself is more so just about as personal as I could get about everything that I kind of felt at the time, when I felt like I want to get away, when I felt I wanted to just run off and do what I had to do. And I feel like I always said that song is like the perfect example of where I was at the time. There's no hook. It's 4 minutes of nothing but bars, really. It's like over like 100 bars of shit, and it's just, yeah. It's just a perfect example of all the demons that I fight with at times, some of the insecurities that I got, and yeah, it just happens. It's just a moment where you hear a beat and that shit sparks, and how that came about was just, you know, one day I was in my groove and felt like venting. And that's what the song kind of feels like to me. It feels like just so like opening a page of your diary and just like kind of like letting that shit just loose on wax.
Sometimes that's necessary, man.
Yeah.
But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we're at that time. It's the exclusive feature. We have 8-Bit J and Haneda. Check this out.
Holy Jehovah's Witness, I come to my fucking senses. This is a vibe you can see without your prescription lenses. It's like dimensions, see, I'm stuck up in the trenches. My own doing this sat me here with the cards I'm dealt with. Perfect my masterpiece, it's all this fucking ass of me. Been laying lower than Snoop Dogg, working with Master P. No teacher teaching a class to me. Young egg was sipping reckless, fifth on the 10th balcony. Call it cliche, but this shit has been more than rap to me. Come back to me the day when I'm no longer rapping for free. Come back consistent and understand my resentment when having these fake fuckers when trying to conduct business. Moving deep tensions with those that you fucking live with. Holy got it precisely, gotta finish your breakfast. You move confusion, you stuck in your own delusions. I dream my whole life, so it's likely I dream lucid. Paper dragon with fire to keep my purple lit. Counting on my hand with the number of disadvantages. Painted Virgin Mary, whatever you put a candle in. Light one up for me, chances of less damages. Half my rhymes, I'm just venting my issues. Like back in 19 when I finally trashed my pistol. But things go and change when transition into an older age. The colder days can feel it starting to numb my face. Lucifer loosen the shackles on my ankle brace. Police officers threaten me but forget they could tase. In due time I'll probably fight me a fucking case and walk like Johnny Cochran, smirk up on my fucking face. Gucci suit, tailor-made, sentence fresh to death. Judge wanting to sentence, couple words off my chest. I tell you please your honor, rest for the wicked. I should have been dead now with all my levels of sickness. What kind of mind is this? I guess you call it mindlessness. I hate to self-prescribe, but I can't afford a psychiatrist. Empty pill bottles, I'd love to party with you, Jay. Missing church, baby, we prayed on the cross on Duce. Die for my sins, die for things I solely relate to. Eye for an eye, middle night, screaming I hate you. Why must I fall in love with things that's bound to go hurt me? Working like a slave, dry mouth, wig cuts on my sleeve. lack of morale. Moving on with some cruddy business. Sneak diss and speak volumes to my fucking resentment. Commitment to doing things right with those who dismissive. The chain that I bought is the same one I'll probably get lynched with. Lost my religion around the time I was losing myself. Fighting addiction with fighting wars with my mental health. Writing notes to myself to stop when I self-destruct. Remind myself of goodness anytime when it feels corrupt. Lusting, trusting myself with all of these women. Fucking up my karma with all these decisions. America, cold mistress, promised to heal with you. Blind you with her beauty, say nice, she steal from you. Keeping currency and live with the values of man living broke. With offers of all these helping hands. Hopelessness and broken bodies and living in streets. Dedicate their life to slave until they finally deceased. I rarely smile, dear mama, I'm just looking for peace. My callous hand sees as the mark of the beast. Self-destruction I never took, blazing myself with the perks on the shelf, drinking up whatever was dealt. The holes in my mind I couldn't even contemplate. All the time wasted, I couldn't even go concentrate. Piranha made me bad, Piranha made me evil, babe. Piranha still me till I'm finally in my fucking grave. What is it that I fight or even fucking rap about that make it worth something, like it's something that you can't live without? I find myself drinking, staring into nothingness. I could be going mental, or maybe I just don't give a shit. I fear dying alone, drinking myself stupid. I fear setting these dreams and never going do them. I fear having a kid and him hating his father. I fear my issues come back when I'm raising a daughter. I struggle enough, I struggle to trust. And though I never fucking stop me, man, I'm trapped and I'm cuffed. Who can I blame for all of my fucking issues? Who gives a fuck about anything that I'm into? I wake up and see the ceiling caving into me. The walls is getting closer. I'm stressing and I can barely breathe. Hop out the window instead of counting my blessings and hit the 7-Eleven and cop a cool depressant. Some call it booze, some call it refreshments. I call it feeding addiction. When can I learn my lesson? I only do this shit when my sanity starts to lessen. My friends done stress me out and I'm at the West End. I need an escape from my life and all of my problems. I can't make it that far if I'm only just walking. I got up and went straight for the fucking road and copped the red eye. First flight straight into Tokyo.
Yeah. So you, like you said, you just went ham for about good 4.5.
Yeah, man. You know, it kind of starts out a little, you feel me? It starts out kind of cool, but yeah, eventually I start, you know, really like tearing into it. And yeah, it's like I said, it kind of feels like just a long therapy session, man. It's, you know, which I feel like a lot of that could be. Again, you know, I try to, like I said earlier, you know, I want to make something where there's like a good middle ground, but at times, you know, there's just, you know, and then some people like, you know, that long Lupe Fiasco 8-minute bar fest type shit, you know. So, you know, I ain't opposed to that either, you know.
Well, I mean, you made it so that people can, it forces them to pay attention to what you're saying, and what you're saying ain't fugazi, bro. So, kudos on that. Seriously, kudos.
Thank you.
Shout out to the people who mixed it and you know,
yeah, shout out to my boy AP, you know, for the mix and master, and shout out to Nobi for the video. If anybody out here in the Bay, y'all know Noble Cinemas, they got some of the tightest videos out here in the Bay Area. I shot that at the studio. Shout out to Nobi.
Okay, all right. Bet that. So we got this little segment of that's like my favorite. It's called Hot Topics. We're gonna take a break real quick and then answer some real quick hot questions. You good for it?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right, bet. Here we go with Hot Topics.
Okay.
So, Hot Topics, 8-Bit J. We are using Hot Topics, and Hot Topics are a series of random questions so that people get to know who you are through these random questions. We keep it light, we keep it fun, keep it short. If at any point in time you don't want to answer a question or you got nothing, it's okay. Let's just move on to the next one. You know what I mean?
All right.
Ready?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. First question, and this is a staple of the show. 3 things you didn't know. What's 3 things that the world does not know about 8-Bit J, or 3 things that you want to clarify because people keep getting this shit wrong?
The mask ain't marshmallow. This shit is this mask is the shy guy from Super Mario. Don't sue me, Nintendo. Um, let's see. Three things you didn't know. I'm usually very open with my shit. So let me see if I can think of three things you didn't know. I'm not. With all due respect to MF Doom, I never listen to much MF Doom. So a lot of people come up, they be like, "Hey, yo, the mask, brother, I get that." Like MF Doom, right? I'm like, yeah, kinda. And the name 8-bit J, that's off like Nintendo graphics. You know, that was kind of. I feel a lot of people don't be knowing what that means a lot of times. So, which is again, when we talk about speaking on our age, you know, that's kind of a funny thing to me. Like, you know, when I was growing up, I think everyone knew about like growing up with like Nintendos and shit. We knew what 8-bit, 16-bit, and all that shit was.
Yep.
So now it's like, you know, it's super super retro, and I feel that's what my whole vibe is about. So, you know, whether it be the fits, you know, I like them like starter jackets, you know, championship, all that. I like the whole retro aesthetic with my vibe. So I guess that's a low key three things you didn't know. I guess.
Okay. Okay. Nothing wrong with that. And by the way, a shout out to rest in peace to MF Doom. He's definitely a underground legend.
Absolutely.
Overground.
You know, anything that I have heard from MF Doom, you know, the shit's been dope, and I do think, you know, a lot of his beats, and I've listened to a lot more since he's passed.
Yeah.
That, you know, that is, you know, super dope, and I know he's got a ton of influence. It's just that, yeah, a lot of people will think like that this is where like the mass thing came from. I'm like, kind of, sort of, but not really. I mean, it just was just, you know, something I was feeling was. So it's just something that I was feeling. But you know, it probably was. You know, it's like those subconscious things. You don't even think about it sometimes. You probably
Yeah.
just saw a few people rocking masks, and I was like, you know what, that'd be dope to, you know, kind of do that.
I love it. I love it nonetheless. And Whole Cakes was my favorite MF Doom song. So anybody who watch or listen to MF Doom and you check out Whole Cakes, that's Donnie B's first personal favorite. That part. Next question. They ain't got no war for that. What is the most outlandish thing you done seen in the last 6 to 8 months? Anywhere from our former president Donald Trump and his shenanigans to Lil Nas X with the baby bump, or you could answer it a different way by giving somebody their flowers or giving something its flowers that is underrated or underappreciated or underheralded.
Oh man, outlandish shit, outlandish shit. Hey, let me give my flowers to Chris Rock for taking a smack and building and choosing to make paper off it. Waiting a whole year to make paper off that shit. That to me is beautiful. I strive for that pettiness. So I'm gonna go give my flowers to Chris Rock. They no award for that shit, but you know, to wait an entire year to get slapped and be like, I got a tour coming up. Hold on. let's build on this. That's beautiful to me. I like taking a negative situation and turning it into some real shit and coming out looking golden after that too.
Yeah.
So I fuck with that.
Okay. That's a great answer. Actually, you're the second person to answer that because I guess last week said the same thing. So
oh shit.
Shout out to Chris Rock.
Yeah, shout out, man. Good legends, bro. I love comedy, bro. I love stand up, man. You know, I grew up on a lot of, you know, Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy shit, you know, watching them old tapes and shit.
Okay. We got two more really quick, and then we're gonna get back to this because our time is dwindling down. Netflix, what's on your visual playlist? What are you watching on TV right now that you like to call attention to or shout it out? It doesn't have to be Netflix. It could be Hulu. It could be Disney Plus. It could be Mandalorian. It could be anything.
My brother my brother was telling me like, hey, what if he asked you what your favorite TV show is? And I was like, I was kind of hoping. So I'll just give you my top 5. I'll go with some of my top 5 shows. My favorite show is The Sopranos.
Okay.
HBO Max. You gotta
With
go
it.
with The Sopranos. That shit just classic through and through. There's everything about it that's just immaculate. And then you got Breaking Bad.
Yep.
Gotta fuck with Breaking Bad. Then you got The Wire, which R.I.P. To the dude who played Lieutenant Daniels on there.
Yep.
I feel disrespectful not even knowing the name like that, but yeah, he just passed away the other day. So I think it was yesterday.
Yep.
So that's a great show too. Lieutenant Daniels always had a dope ass death stare in that show, so I fuck with that. I fuck with that stuff. Boardwalk Empire.
Yep.
I think that's a great show as well. And oddball that I throw in at number 5. It's on Netflix. It's called BoJack Horseman.
Okay, I'm familiar with that show.
I feel to me that's a dope ass show. It kind of is like it looked kind of foolish, but it's like it kind of like plays into like growing up fucked up and what fame could do to you and shit like that. So it really is. So it's deeper than what it looked like on the surface. So that's my top 5.
Love it. Yeah, I mean, I'm familiar with 4 out of the 5, and I gotta say, all 4 of those 5 classics as far as I'm concerned.
One last thing to throw in there.
Okay.
I just watched Rocky 1 and 2 the other day again. You kind of forget how good those fucking movies are. So shout out to Rocky.
Definitely classics, and again, third, Rocky 3 was every bit as powerful before. I think that's the most memorable one out of all of them. Quite right.
Yeah. Where Eddie Murphy say, "We're going Rocco." All right,
Indeed. Shout out to Eddie Murphy too. He got a stand-up coming out, so make sure everybody stay tuned and glued in for that for sure. But yeah, so thank you for sharing your visuals, your visual playlist. Now, what is on your audio playlist? My playlist popping. What are you listening to get you up and get you jiggy with it?
Recently, I've been listening to, just recently I've been listening to a lot of old Game albums.
Okay.
I've definitely fuck with one. I think if I was going to say one of the most underrated rappers of all time, I think Game don't get enough flowers. I think that a lot of people look at the whole thing and people they use the term like clout chaser a lot when it comes to what has been like recently. But I think he deserves his flowers because man, them his first 5 albums to me were great. But just other than that, obviously I love a lot of Tupac. If we want to get into more recent shit though, I love a lot of Kendrick, Earl Sweatshirt, Schoolboy Q. I fuck with recently I've been fucking with a lot of let's see Jid is tough. Let's see. Yeah. That I think that's a good little Tyler the Creator. I think that's another artist I think that's been.
Lost you there, buddy. Frozen, I think. Okay, we got you back now.
Yeah. Wait. So yeah. Kanye. I always gotta throw Ye in there. That's definitely one of them. Of course, Hove. 3 Stacks.
Yeah.
Tribe Called Quest is one of my favorite groups of all time.
Of course, the best.
Just as far as OG shit, just like a little bit more new shit too. So yeah, that's a lot of my playlist. It's a good mix, but yeah, it's that's what I've been listening to a lot lately.
Well, I appreciate you for sharing, man. I mean, your playlist reads a lot like mine. I mean, I have a lot of eclectic stuff in it too, but definitely a lot of the same personnel. And most of those you can't get away from. You know what I mean? At the end of the day,
Yeah,
you
man.
have to hit. You know,
Absolutely.
so definitely feel you there. All right, well, we made it out of the hot topic section. Definitely want to get back to you, bro, to make sure we like and subscribe and support 8-Bit J. If you're on right now, make sure you like and subscribe. Follow 8-Bit J. He's on all social media. He's on Insta. He's on Facebook. He's everywhere you want to be, like Visa. So make sure you like and subscribe and follow this brother. And if you ain't hip, make sure you go back, find him, listen to what he's doing. He's on YouTube. I'm sure he got work, and just Google him. You'll find him. This brother is doing his thing, and I want to take this opportunity to pivot back to you, and I want to ask you some more questions, Jay. What, in your opinion, is one big myth about the entertainment industry? Because everybody, this is a game where just about everybody is trying to be involved with it in some shape, form, or fashion, and they come up with a lot of notions or preconceived ideas about the way they think it is. But you, as somebody that's actually doing it, what's a myth that you like to dispel for a lot of people that may not know?
That it's just all about talent. Yeah, I think that a lot of people get that misconception that it's just all. I do like the idea of cream of the crop rises to the top, but I feel like there's a lot more than that because I know so many talented motherfuckers who don't get their flowers, and it's good because of the way that they don't know how to really. I don't want to say market themselves, but they promote themselves poorly. So it's it's a process. It's tedious. A lot of this is tedious work. So I think that would probably be like one of the biggest myths about the entertainment industry, that it's just about that it's just about talent, because I feel that one of the biggest things that you have to have here is persistence. You got to be a pest damn near to really get any form of clout when it comes to this shit, because it's cutthroat, man. It's cutthroat.
It is. And attention spans are extremely short.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to make sure that you take that into consideration when you're moving and shaking. But Jay, you put your finger on it, and I appreciate it, because you really are kicking knowledge out to people out here with that. How would you say you feel that you have paved the way for young talent?
Okay, so with for a lot of like young talent, I see a lot of people like coming up to me now when that I saw a lot of myself when I was younger in, because I feel like a lot of people didn't give me the time of day when I was a younger artist, when I was still in high school trying to get shit popping. And I feel a lot of that kind of stunted me. So I like being the type of person that, gives people the advice that they need to hear when people will come up to me. I like giving, I like people listening. If someone sends me something that's genuine, I'll give honest feedback. And I always heard that the type of Kanye, I remember, said it once in an interview, saying that if I were to give someone all this advice, but he ain't cutting me no deal, I'm sunning him at this point. Now, I can't cut nobody a deal, but what I can do is I could give you, tools to use. Hey, I want you to send this over here. This dude be listening to this and this and that. Oh, you need a video done? Let me link you in with so and so. Because when I was coming up, I didn't even know who shot music videos.
Yeah,
I had no one that could help me get to a studio. Nothing. I was like blind walking into a lot of this. So, I think it's my job to give people the resources to, help them out if they truly passionate about doing this shit. And I think that's how I kind of see it, because I see myself as that I still see myself as that kid who was starting out not knowing shit. And I don't want to be that type of person that's sunning anyone. I don't want to be that motherfucker that's too cool for school just because I got a couple things going for me.
That's understandable. It's appreciated because I mean I like you in the same way. You know, when I was first starting out, didn't have a lot of help. And to be fair, to this day, I still don't have a lot of help. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But you know, I've acquired enough. I forgot a lot more than people know these days, and that's just how long I've been doing it. You know what I mean? So you just you know keep moving, keep at it, but give back. You know what I mean? And the game deserves it. You know, if you don't
Mhm.
give back, you know that's like back in the day where they used to talk about like our ancestors sharing their stories with the people behind them to keep the history going, to keep the tradition going, you know. So
People are very gatekeepy, man. They want to, you know, it's like they want to keep it from us. Everyone's so me about the situation where I feel like there's so many opportunities where there's enough for all of us to eat. We all don't listen to just one artist. You feel me? Like, so, you know, you could have us all in rotation. You know, that's why I like in my neck of the woods. I like building a community. Like me, James Harm, my boy Medium Frank, my boy Don Kingdom, all these people that, you know, I like, hey, you never worked with this motherfucker before. Let me introduce you to so and so, and your fan base builds off their fan base and everything like that, and it becomes a community. It becomes it becomes a network.
that's
So
exactly it.
I
Yeah,
feel like if we start doing more of that and helping everybody out, man, there's just I feel like there's only positive outcome when it comes to that kind of stuff.
that part, that part, brother. And again, thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, we're almost out of time. Make sure you like and subscribe, follow 8-Bit J on social media. He's out there. This brother got a lot of wisdom, and he's dope as hell too. Uh, so much so that I'm gonna change the program around. I actually have another song of his called "Fake," and we gonna end everything out with that song just because you gotta touch it on his brother's talent. You know he's if he ain't got level Super Saiyan, he damn close. That's for sure.
Hey,
So make sure we gotta make sure you like and subscribe, follow this brother, and give him and show him your support. Now, Jay, uh, one or two more questions. I want to ask you how can people learn more about you if they want to reach out to you, subscribe, or you know, just hit you up and hit you with collabs, features, so forth and so on.
I think it's just following my shit, man, because I've been doing a lot. When I was out in LA, I did a vlog out there you can find on my YouTube. I'm trying to get more into it to where I'm into fans. I want to stream a little more. I just want to be more in touch with the more fans that I do get. I do want to be a little bit more out there and outgoing with with my folks. So I feel like that's the best way to learn about me is to kind of subscribe and you know I'll do my best to give back to the folks. You know I'm a giving motherfucker.
Indeed, indeed. I live okay, and then you got any shout outs or anybody that you want to big up or you want to join last words before we get you up out of here?
Last words that I gotta give up is shout out to my boy Jay Harmony real quick because me and him we have an album dropping on Easter called Watch More TV 2. It's bar packed. It's fun. It's great community music that you can play for your church. Not really, but you get the point. you know, it's great ignorant fun. We love it, man. It's like popping in a Wayans movie. You know, it's so I think that I think that y'all gonna fuck with that, and we've been working on this album for a minute. I think the bars are just super potent. So many, if you know references bars on there, and we talking about ignorant fun shit, and I think people are gonna love it. So Easter Sunday, watch more TV too. On all streaming platforms.
Okay. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. This is 8-Bit J on the show. He's on the beat. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow this brother, man. Like I said, better catch him for the train leave the station. That's for damn sure. And and I'm a big advocate for that. And like I said, Jay, if you got an extra 5-10 minutes, just hang loose till after the show, and so we can debrief and learn what comes next. Okay.
All right, for sure.
All right, and like I said, with that being said, we have Fake. So give us the run of show what Fake is about, and then you can just walk us out with that.
Fake is the best way for me to describe it. Is me at my biggest scumbag attitude. Like this is me, like showing like the most toxic energy of myself, whether it comes with being with women, whether it comes to me, and substances and everything. So yeah, I think this is just 8-bit J at his scummiest, and we could leave it like that. And I think that's the best thing, that I can be scummy, but at least I ain't fake. And
Well,
the dude on the hook, Johnny Polygon, dope ass artist too. Definitely peep him out. Tulsa, Oklahoma. Shout to him.
well, like you said, ladies and gentlemen, this is we gonna get to that really quick. My last words on this whole thing before we get to Fake is, I'm thankful to have you on 8-bit J. You keep doing everything that you're doing, brother. I just keep the energy going, bro, because you're dope at your craft, man. So I'm here to give you the accolades because it's well deserved, obviously, because you tell that you put a lot of time and effort into your craft. That's all I have to say about with regard to the support. Make sure you just keep doing it, keep focused and I'm sure you will get all of the accolades you deserve.
And I appreciate it, man, that you put me on here. And I remember when you first saw me at the show, you pointed like directly at me, like, "Hey, I fuck with you feel me?"
That guy, I already knew what it was.
That's just hilarious. I fuck with that. We made it happen, man. So it's definitely dope that you were out at the show, and then just again extending that olive branch, because just building a bigger community, man. And I think that's dope. And I love that this your platform here is to help other artists and put other people on and show the world. I think that y'all really the people that put life into this culture.
I appreciate that. It means a lot, But again, like I said, I'm an artist too. I know how this thing works. You know what I mean? And the biggest thing is, you know, giving back. And we have already talked about that and touched on that. At the end of the day, man, if you see something, say something, man. Like at the end of the day, people need help, and if closed mouths don't get fed. So at the end of the day, it's like I see this brother, like I said, man, and I already do, like I said, because I know 8-bit. I shoot. I remember Super Mario Brothers, bro. Like, what I'm saying? I go that far back. And then, I remember when it was just Mario Brothers. Then it was Super Mario Brothers. Then it was Mario Brothers 2, where they got the Shy Guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Mario Brothers too.
Yeah. But real recognized real bad, you're a real dude. And like I said, I just want to make sure that you understand that. I see you. Keep doing your thing, man.
Thank you, man.
So, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, we at time. This is Donnie B Got the Beats. We live on season 7. Get ready to go on the episode 3. This coming Tuesday, we got the real Brass. Shout out to
Brass.
Brass and the Dojo hip hop fam. He'll be on Tuesday. But before we go, we had this brother right here. We're gonna celebrate 8-bit J and Johnny Polygon on Fake. I'm Donnie B Got the Beats. We live on the beat. We out, ladies and gentlemen. Check it out. I wanted to say, ladies and gentlemen, if you can't hear me for whatever reason, I can't seem to get any audio. And Jay, can you hear the audio when the video was playing?
Nah, I can't.
Okay, I just want. I'm gonna try it one more time. I want to apologize. If not, if we can't get the audio to play, then that's on me, and I apologize for on behalf of my platform. But make sure you like and follow and 8BitJ on YouTube. You can find his music video, which is a dope video, by the way. But we're gonna try it one more time, and then we're gonna be out, ladies and gentlemen. With that being said, again, Donnie B got the beats. Live on the beat. We out.
Donnie B.